Grand Hall of the Jal Empire, a massive alien court filled with warriors, glowing banners and strange floating crystals. A single human, Elias Ward, stands chained in the center. Jal guards hiss and point weapons at him. Everyone expects him to beg for mercy. Instead, Elias calmly looks straight at the alien queen. She rises from her throne, towering, elegant, terrifying. She asks, "Human, state your final words." Elias smiles and replies, "I only need one message delivered. Please tell your daughter, my darling wife, that I will be home soon." For a moment, the entire court freezes. The queen stiffens, her eyes widen. She almost drops her staff. None of them can understand how a human could marry a Jal princess. Whispers fill the hall. Some aliens scream for his execution. Others accuse him of lying. The queen demands the truth. Elias does not answer. He only says, "If harm comes to me, she will come." And every alien in the hall suddenly remembers the princess's power, how she destroyed an invasion fleet at age 14. Fear ripples through the court. Main body, suspense and plot build. Elias is interrogated by the queen. He explains how he once saved the princess during a battle years ago. The princess developed affection for him, strange and confusing to both sides. They performed a secret bonding ritual when trapped together on a hostile planet. That ritual in Jal culture counts as marriage. The queen tries to deny it, but the court sages confirm the symbols on Elias' arm. The mark of royal bonding. Now the queen faces a crisis. If she harms Elias, she risks war with her own daughter. If she frees him, she breaks Jal law. And worst of all, the princess receives Elias' distress signal. Ending of Part 1's big cliffhanger. The grand hall shakes violently. A glowing tear in space opens above the throne room. A tall, armored Jal woman steps out, her eyes burning like stars. The princess. She looks at the aliens, then at her mother, then at Elias. Her voice is cold. "Did you hurt my husband?" Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The chains were heavy, but Elias Ward stood straight. Cold blue light from the alien crystals above poured down on him as he waited in the center of the grand hall of the Jal Empire. Thousands of alien eyes stared at him from the balconies and upper platforms. Their long bodies shifted and twisted like giant armored insects. Their sharp limbs tapped the stone floor in irritation. They hated humans. And today they had captured one. Two Jal guards, tall and dark like metal statues, stood on each side of Elias. Their weapons glowed with a red beam aimed at his chest. But Elias did not look at them. His eyes were fixed on the creature seated on the massive throne ahead of him, the alien queen of the Jal Empire. Her body was covered in shimmering emerald armor that grew naturally from her exoskeleton. 4 arms rested on the armrests. Behind her rose a crown of living crystals that pulsed with energy. Her eyes were black and deep, like endless space. When she spoke, her voice echoed across the hall. "Human." Her tone was cold, sharp, almost bored. "You stand accused of treason, deception, and unlawful entry into royal territory. Your kind is weak. Soft, speak your final words." Around the hall, Jal warriors clicked their mandibles in agreement. Elias felt their hostility wash over him like heat, but he did not bend. He smiled. Not the smile of a fool. Not the smile of a man trying to delay death. It was something else, confidence, calm, and a strange layer of mischief. He lifted his head and said clearly, "Before you kill me, Your Majesty, please deliver a message." The queen's eyes narrowed. A faint vibration shook the hall, a sign of her annoyance. "A message? Humans are in no position to make requests." "It's only a simple one." Elias spoke softly, but his voice carried in the silent court. "Tell your daughter, my darling wife, that I will be home soon." The hall fell dead silent. The guards froze. The warriors stared at him. Even the crystals overhead stopped humming for a second. The queen did not move, not a twitch, not a blink, not a breath. She merely stared at Elias as if her mind refused to process what she had just heard. "What?" she whispered. A whisper so quiet, yet every alien heard it. Elias calmly repeated, "Tell your daughter that her husband will return." This time the entire court exploded. No human could marry a royal. Blasphemy. Lies. Execution at once. Crush his bones. The hall roared with rage. Some warriors climbed onto the railings as if ready to leap down and tear the human apart. Others shouted for the queen to end him immediately. But the queen, she did not react. Her 4 hands trembled slightly on her throne. "Guard," she commanded at last, her voice quiet and dangerous. "Bring him forward." Elias' chains clinked loudly as the guards dragged him to the foot of the throne. The queen leaned down, her huge face inches from him. Her breath was warm, her eyes studied every tiny detail of his expression. Then she spoke, slow and heavy. "Did you call my daughter your darling wife human?" Elias held her gaze. "Yes." A sharp crack broke the air, the sound of the queen's staff slamming against the floor. The hall shook again. Warriors fell silent. All attention snapped back to their ruler. "You will explain this," the queen ordered. Elias nodded. "Of course, but it's a long story." "Begin," she demanded. The guards unlocked the chains around his wrists but left the ones on his ankles. Elias stretched his arms and sighed. 2 years ago, he said, I served on a human rescue team. We were sent to the border world of Athrian 5. A human research base went silent. When we arrived, we found the wreckage of a JAL scout ship too. The hall murmured with confusion. The Queen's top advisor whispered, Athrian 5 is unclaimed space. Many young JAL use it for testing flight skills. Elias nodded. Yes, and one of your own was trapped there, badly injured. The Queen stiffened. Describe her. A young female, Elias said. Strong, fast, had glowing marks along her arms and a crown of 2 forming crystals. Gasps echoed. That is a royal trait. It cannot be. The Queen raised a hand, silencing them. Continue, she ordered. Elias took a slow breath. My team found her trapped under fallen metal. Toxic fog was spreading. JAL exoskeletons are strong, but the fog was eating through it. She was dying. And you helped her, the Queen asked. No, Elias answered honestly. She helped me first. The Queen blinked. The fog hit us too. My suit began to melt. I couldn't move. She broke free just long enough to pull me out of danger. Even when she was dying, she saved a stranger. The hall fell quiet. We escaped together into an old mining bunker. My team never found the entrance. For a full week it was just me and her, 2 survivors on a dead world. Elias smiled slightly as he remembered. She didn't trust me at first, I didn't trust her either. But when danger came, when beasts attacked or when poison leaked in, we protected each other. We shared food, we shared heat, we learned each other's languages. And, the Queen whispered. And over time, we stopped thinking of each other as enemies. Several warriors hissed. Elias continued. One night a storm collapsed the bunker entrance. We thought we would die. She told me about her people, her home, her dreams. I told her about mine. And then... He paused. The Queen leaned forward. And then, she repeated. Elias gently pulled up his left sleeve. A faint glowing mark spiraled around his arm like a bracelet. The entire hall screamed. That mark. The mark of royal bonding. He speaks the truth. This is impossible. The Queen stared at the mark with shock and fear. Human, she whispered. You performed the bonding ritual with her. We were dying, Elias said quietly. She said the ritual would give strength, hope. Even if one died, the other would carry the memory. She didn't explain everything, but I trusted her. She trusted me. The Queen covered her mouth with 2 hands, a gesture of disbelief. For us, she whispered, the bonding ritual is marriage. Elias nodded. Yes, I know that now. And you completed it, she asked. Yes, Elias said. We held hands, our blood mixed, the mark appeared, and the storm cleared enough for my team to find us. I stayed with her until JAL rescuers came. A long silence followed. The Queen slowly stood. Why, she asked in a trembling voice, did she not return with a husband? Elias looked down. She told me the ritual was sacred, forbidden to share with outsiders. She didn't want to bring shame to your house or start a war. She said she would tell you when the time was right. And yet, the Queen said, here you are in chains. Elias sighed. I came to find her, to see if she was safe. Your soldiers captured me before I could explain. The Queen's eyes flashed. You threatened the guards, you refused to kneel, you caused chaos in the lower courts. I didn't refuse, Elias said calmly. They demanded I claim no bond with your daughter. I refused that. The Queen felt something she had not felt in years, fear. If what this human said was true, if her daughter truly bonded with him, then harming him would break the bond and send her daughter into uncontrollable rage. And her daughter was dangerous. At age 14, she destroyed an entire invasion fleet alone. At 16, she crushed a warlord's army single-handedly. At 17, she vanished to complete training. And now she was 20, the most powerful royal in generations. The Queen swallowed. What do you expect me to do? She demanded. Free you, accept you. Announce to the Empire that the princess took a human as her mate. Elias shook his head. No, I simply expect to live long enough for her to find me. The Queen froze. What? Elias tapped the glowing mark on his arm. This mark threads our energy together. It reacts when one is in danger. She can feel that I am captured. She can track the source. The Queen's entire body went rigid. You mean she is coming? Yes. Now. Elias nodded. A terrified whisper rushed through the hall. Warriors looked at each other with dread. The air crackled. The crystals overhead flickered. A low hum vibrated the entire chamber. The Queen's staff trembled in her hand. Suddenly, a blast of energy ripped open the air above the throne like a giant tear in space. A swirling portal formed, glowing with blinding white and violet light. Jal warriors screamed and covered their eyes. The Queen stepped back, her breath shaking. Elias exhaled softly. She's here. A tall armoured figure stepped out of the portal. Her body shined with royal crystal plates. Her eyes glowed bright. Her arms were marked with the same spiral symbols as Elias' arm. Her crown of crystals sparkled like a star. She landed on the steps before the throne. Dead silence. She looked at her mother, then at the thousands of warriors, then at the guards holding weapons at Elias' chest. Her expression twisted into pure wrath. She raised her weapon, a spear of living crystal, and pointed it at the nearest guard. Her voice was cold enough to freeze the air. Did you hurt my husband? The guards stepped back in terror. The Queen tried to speak, but no sound came out. The princess walked forward slowly, each step shaking the ground. Her spear tip touched the nearest guard's throat. Answer me, she said. The Queen forced her voice out. Daughter, is this human truly your chosen mate? The princess didn't look away from the trembling guard. Yes, she said. And I will destroy anyone who touches him. The hall filled with gasps. The Queen's legs nearly buckled. The princess lowered her spear just enough to look at Elias. Her eyes softened. You should not have come, she whispered. Elias smiled weakly. I missed you. The princess's face almost broke into a smile, but rage quickly returned. She glared at everyone else in the room. Mother, she said, her voice shaking the ceiling. Step aside. The Queen felt shock. Fear. Panic. Daughter. Now. The Queen slowly stepped back. Only then did the princess reach for Elias' chains. She crushed them with one hand as if they were paper. Elias rubbed his wrists. Thank you. She pulled him close to her side and turned to face the hall. To all who stand here, she declared, raising her weapon. Touch him again, and I will end the Jal Empire myself. The entire hall fell to its knees. The Queen watched, unable to move. Her daughter, the most powerful royal in generations, had bonded with a human. A human who looked at her not with fear, but with love. The Queen trembled. What had her daughter done? And what had this human become? The portal flickered again behind them. The princess wrapped an arm around Elias protectively. "We are leaving." The queen found her voice at last. "Daughter, wait." But the princess didn't. She stepped into the portal with Elias. And the moment they vanished, the grand hall exploded into chaos. The world that Elias stepped into was nothing like the cold, echoing hall of the Jal Empire. The moment the portal closed behind him, a warm wind brushed against his face. Strange purple trees rose around him, their leaves fluttering like gentle wings. A wide field stretched out under a sky full of rings and drifting lights. He took a deep breath. The air smelled like flowers and electricity. The princess, Zyra, did not let go of him. Her hand gripped his arm tightly, almost possessively. Her armor dimmed as the stress of the moment faded, and soft sunlight reflected off the crystal plates on her skin. Only after a long silence did she speak. "You are hurt," she whispered. Elias smiled slightly. "Just my pride. Your guards don't exactly shake hands when they say hello." Her expression darkened. "I should have arrived sooner." "You arrived in time," Elias said gently. But Zyra didn't relax. Her crystal crown glowed with a troubled light. "You should never have come to the capital alone," she said, her voice breaking with emotion. "The court is full of enemies. My mother barely controls them." Elias reached out, touching her hand. "I came because I missed you." That simple sentence made Zyra stop breathing for a moment. Her expression softened, and her grip loosened as she pressed her forehead gently to his. For a moment there was only peace. Then her body suddenly tensed. She sniffed the air, her crystal armor reformed around her body. Something had changed. "They followed us," she whispered. Elias looked around. The field seemed empty. "Who?" "The militant faction," Zyra growled. "They oppose my claim to the throne. They want a pure-blood ruler. They will do anything to remove you." Elias swallowed. "Then we should move." "No," she stepped in front of him. "I will handle them. Stay behind me." A crackling echo broke through the peace of the field. A flash of red light shot through the air, hitting the ground near them and exploding into dust. Elias stumbled back. Zyra caught him easily and pushed him behind her. From the edge of the forest, shapes emerged. Dozens of armored Jal warriors with red glowing eyes and weapons twice the size of Elias' arm. The leader raised a spear. "Princess Zyra," he shouted, "you dishonor the Empire by bonding with a human. Step aside and we will take him quickly." Zyra's voice dropped to a deadly whisper. "You will not touch him." The leader laughed, a cold metallic sound. "You are strong, yes, but even you cannot face all of us." Zyra tilted her head slowly. Elias had seen that expression before. It meant someone was about to regret living. "I don't need to fight all of you," Zyra said, "just enough to make a point." She struck the ground with her spear. The impact created a wave of crackling light that shot across the field. The front line of warriors flew back into the trees like broken dolls. Elias stared. He knew she was powerful, but seeing it again up close, she was something else entirely. The leader snarled. "Attack!" The warriors rushed forward, weapons raised. Zyra moved like living lightning. Every step she took left glowing footprints in the grass. Her spear sliced through the air, blocking attacks, shattering armor, knocking warriors away like they were made of paper. But there were too many. Blasts of red energy rained down on them. Zyra deflected several beams, but one slipped past and hit her shoulder. She staggered, her armor cracking. "Zyra," Elias cried. "Stay back," she snapped. More beams struck the ground around her. She kept fighting, but the attackers had numbers on their side. They were pushing her to exhaustion. Elias looked around desperately. He had no armors, no weapons, no alien strength. But he refused to stand there and watch her fall. His eyes caught something half buried in the grass, a fallen Jal blade, long and sharp, still humming with energy. He grabbed it. The moment his hand closed around the handle, pain shot through him. The weapon wasn't meant for human physiology, but he gritted his teeth and held on. He charged forward. The leader saw him coming and laughed. A human dares. Elias swung the blade with all his strength. It deflected the leader's spear, sending sparks across the air. The alien staggered back in surprise. Elias' arms trembled from the impact. He wasn't strong enough to overpower a Zhal warrior. But he didn't need to win. He just needed to protect Zyra. A second warrior lunged at him, and Elias ducked, letting the attack pass overhead. Another swung at him, and he rolled aside. He fought with desperation and instinct, not skill, but it was enough to slow their advance. Zyra felt the shift in the fight. She turned just in time to see Elias defending her from 3 warriors at once. Her heart twisted. "What are you doing?" she cried. "Not letting you fight alone," Elias gasped. She felt something surge inside her, a wave of fierce pride, fear and love. Zyra screamed. Energy exploded around her body, forming new armor made of pure light. She surged forward with renewed strength, tearing through the circle of enemies around Elias. Within seconds, half the attackers lay unconscious in the grass. The leader stumbled back in terror. "Impossible," he hissed. "No one should wield that power." Zyra stood before him like a living star, her armor glowing white. "You threatened my mate," she said softly. "You should have run." The leader tried to retreat, but Zyra struck him with the tip of her spear. A burst of energy sent him flying into a tree, knocking him unconscious. The remaining warriors dropped their weapons and fled into the woods. Silence settled over the field. Only Zyra and Elias remained standing. Elias dropped the alien blade, breathing hard. "That was too much exercise," he muttered. Zyra rushed to him, holding his face in her hands. "You are injured." "Only everywhere," Elias said with a weak smile. "You foolish human," she whispered, her voice shaking. "You could have died." "I know," he met her eyes, "but I couldn't let them take you away from me, not again." Zyra's expression softened with something almost tender. "You are reckless. Blame who I married." She paused, then leaned forward and pressed her forehead to his, a Zhal sign of deep affection. "You are my husband," she whispered. "My chosen, my equal, I will never let anyone hurt you." Elias exhaled softly. "I know." But their peace didn't last. A portal opened behind them, stable, controlled, and glowing with royal colours. The Queen stepped through. Her arrival made the entire field tremble. Zyra immediately stepped in front of Elias, spear raised. "Mother," she growled, "do not come closer." The Queen raised her hands gently. "I am alone," she said, "and I am not here to fight." Zyra didn't lower her weapon. "Then why are you here?" "To see the truth for myself," the Queen said quietly. Her eyes shifted to Elias. Her tone softened. "You protected my daughter," she said, "even though you are fragile, even though you were afraid." Elias swallowed. "I did what anyone would do." "No," the Queen said, "most would have run, most would have hidden, but you stood beside her even when facing death." She looked at the cracked, glowing mark on Elias' arm. "The bond between you is real," she whispered. Zyra lowered her spear but stayed close to Elias. "Mother," she said quietly, "I love him, I chose him, and I will choose him again in every life." The Queen closed her eyes as if absorbing those words. When she opened them, her expression had changed, determined but calm. "I did not come to break your bond," she said. "I came to understand it." She approached slowly and placed one hand on Elias' arm, just above the bonding mark. A rush of energy flowed through him. Not painful. Warm. Like someone reading his memories gently. The Queen stepped back. "It is true," she whispered. "You shared the ritual willingly, you protected each other, you saved each other, and you cared for my daughter before you even knew who she was." She looked at Zyra. "I was afraid the bond would weaken you, but instead it has strengthened both of you." Zyra lowered her head slightly, a respectful gesture. The Queen turned to Elias. "Human," she said in a quiet voice, "I misjudged you. You are brave, foolish but brave, and it seems you truly love my daughter." Elias nodded. "I do." "And she loves you," the Queen said. "She would destroy entire worlds to keep you safe, that is not a small thing. Elias felt a chill. Zyra didn't deny it. The Queen looked around the field, then back at them. From this moment onward, she declared, you are recognized as a member of the royal family. Zyra gasped softly. Elias blinked in shock. Wait, seriously? Yes, the Queen said. I cannot deny the bond, and I will not throw my empire into chaos by fighting my own daughter. She paused, expression darkening. But do not mistake this for complete peace. Elias frowned. What do you mean? Those militants you fought today, the Queen said, were only the beginning. Many among the Empire believe a human has no place at the royal side. They will rise against you, against Zyra, against me. Zyra tightened her grip on Elias' hand. Let them come, she said, they will fail. The Queen shook her head. There is someone else, she whispered. Someone far more dangerous, someone who does not wish to challenge the throne but to take it. Zyra stiffened. Who? The Queen's voice dropped to a shiver. Your uncle. Elias felt the air grow colder. He has returned, the Queen said, and he knows about the human bond. Zyra's eyes narrowed with fury. He will not touch my husband. The Queen turned toward the portal. Come, she said, we must prepare for what comes next. Zyra looked at Elias. Are you ready for this? Elias exhaled. I didn't marry you for a quiet life, did I? Zyra smiled for the first time since the battle. No, she whispered, you didn't. She took his hand. And together, with the Queen behind them, they stepped into the portal. Toward a war that would shake the entire Jal Empire.